What's going on, my creative collective? Welcome to your daily creative reading for May 25th. We're going to dive right in. So let's do it, okay? I would like to invite the angels, my guardian angels, my spirit guides, protectors, teachers, and their healing energy to this space. And I ask that it is a safe and brave space that allows for the fullest expression of our light, humanity, ascension, and healing. Ooh, got some chills on that one. Good ones, though, not because it's cold. All right. Let's see what we've got going on here. Spirit, what messages do you have for my daily creative? Okay, well, 3 right out of the gate. Really glad. That's exciting. 4 right out of the gate. Okay. I love it when Spirit does that. You want cards? I'll give you cards. No, I'm kidding. Spirit's not like that. The Swan. Okay, the Swan. We also have She Loves. Beautiful energy. Very earthy. Very earthy. Heart Fire, and Seed of the Heart. It's almost like we're planting a little bit of something maybe grounded and passionate that we're working on. Could be a project, could be like literal love. Just a thought. Or suggestion. Yeah, this is it's like a little like your heart's like kind of showing off a little bit. Like there's a shine coming from it, I'm getting. I'm going to read from the booklet. I'm going to read Seed of the Heart here because that is very compelling to me. When I look at that card, I get images of cedar trees and their seeds falling out of the I get the image of cedar trees falling, and I was out for a hike the other day, as in 2 days ago, whatever the holiday was, so Monday. It took me a second, but I went for this massive, like 10 plus kilometer hike, and I came across this log that had mostly decomposed, but it had moss and lichen all over the sides and inside. You could see these like mycelial threads. But what was so amazing to me is that there was a cedar tree growing from the rot. So it's almost like it was just this like new life being birthed. It was just so beautiful. So I think of Seed of the Heart in that sense, where it's like I get like I smelled cedar when I was trying to decide which one to read for, and this one came up. Like it's so beautiful. So I'll read that to you. Okay. Within each one of us is, let me get that in center for you there. What do you mean you can't see it? Within each one of us is a divine seed of love waiting to blossom into fullness. We don't always know what type of blossom we shall be, however, and sometimes if we try to figure it out in advance, the blossoming itself can cause us anxiety, pain, or fear because it is taking us in an unknown, unexpected direction. We may even fear that the direction we are heading is away from our life path and purpose, as if that were even possible. The seed in the heart arises as guidance when we are unfolding in a new manifestation of the divine light within. It comes as encouragement to trust, to surrender, to allow, and to be as open, unthinking, and ready for the unexpected as possible. A plant just needs the right conditions to grow healthy, and if you have ever seen a blade of grass pushing up through a crack in the pavement, then you'll know that when something is meant to grow to the light, it will do so, even against the most apparently insurmountable odds. Ooh, I have goosebumps on that. How about you? This oracle brings you guidance. The right conditions are being brought to you. The most perfect support for your own page turning incapabilities. No, I'm kidding. For your own divine blossoming. Trust. Know that the seed in your heart knows how to grow and life supports it. It is also a sign that something in your relationships is sprouting, a new energy. Don't be afraid to try new ways of relating now as your life energy supports it. Wow. Yeah, there's something very like there's like a sensuality to this card it's like just bursting forth from it, especially just this energy like she loves, like that's just such a sensual energy to me. It's so beautiful. And the swan here as well, like it just I feel like there's something really rich happening in your heart space right now, or that is, I mean, based on the cards, potentially coming to a heart space near you. No, I don't know. But yeah, that's the vibe that I'm getting. We're gonna pull for the day though, so let's see where we go here. I mean, that's a great way to kick off the day. This can be good for several weeks after the day of. So, Spirit, what messages do you have for my daily creatives for May 25th, please and thank you. I just heard the dude abides. Oh my gosh. Oh my guides. You're starting out with the Empress. I mean, like, it's like a good kind of dramatic. It's like high drama. Very connected, though. That sensuality, right? That's sensual. That sensual piece. The Empress is also Venus energy. Okay, let me move these down here so that you can get full view. Empress and the Devil. Six of Pentacles. Oh, Knight of Swords and this bridging consciousness energy. Muse of Material, so Muse of Pentacles. Interesting. Look at you go. Go team. Go team Daily Creatives. This is really beautiful energy. It feels a little like frisky. Like it just like it's excited to play. Seven of Pentacles. Seven of Wands. Oh, Three of Swords. Four of Pentacles. Looks like you might have figured out a little bit more of your worth there. Bravo. The Sun. Yeah. I mean, come on. Really? And then we're ending on the Knight of Wands. Perfect. And then Nine of Pentacles on the bottom. I think of this, I say it all the time. I cannot unsee a colander in this picture. And I know it's not there, but it's like, I think of this as like the great cosmic rinse that just gives you all this confidence. So, all right, let's go. So you're starting with the Empress energy, which not only deeply connected, but super just like sensuously connected. But there's also this element of like a knowing. And a creating from your heart center. And I think this Devil and Six of Pentacles is just a little reminder not to get too caught up in stories that you've told yourself or things like that. Like it's just a call to balance, and it's like a gentle balance, right? Like the way that, I think I'm seeing like a flower. So my stargazer lilies are my absolute favorite. And it's even like white lilies are good too. It's just, the smell is so rich. It's so nice. But they're kind of like shaped like a teardrop, right? And they don't, one side doesn't open, they both open. And it's like, this is like the balance that is something about like the way that flowers open. It's like a balance in the stories that you've been telling yourself. So like you're blooming, but you're not blooming in an imbalanced way. Even though I feel like there's like a weight to the things that you've been carrying. And I'm just hearing like you've earned your wings. So there's some way that the trouble or something that you've gone through has really helped you. Like it's really helped you get through, or not and like not get by, but like to get through something, But I feel like you're on the other side of whatever that was. But this is just maybe like there could be some minor, stories that show up. And it's never like tests. The way I don't like thinking about karmic tests as like challenges. I think about it as like you've shifted and adjusted to a new norm of energy completely. So the reminders that are coming up are not, something where you're like, oh God, the past is showing up again. It's nothing like that. It's more so like your present trajectory is meeting with your old stories and the person that you used to be. And that's a wonderful thing because it's an excellent reminder of where you've come from and the place that you're going to. So when those things come up, don't be like, ugh, not again. This is more so an opportunity to be like, wow, no, thank you. But wow, thank you. Right? You can be in that energy too. interestingly, the tower, the energy that could become a tower if it's not really addressed. I love preventative stuff is my jam. I'm a big fan of it, right? And you can't prevent everything, but I like to tend to energy because you have to cultivate it like a garden, right? Certain plants don't grow. Like I've got to water this, right? I have to water this plant. I have 4 plants on the shelves above here that you can't see. I've got to water those. I have to tend to them. I have to, like, I also talk to them, but I've got to tend to all of these things. And it's almost like you have to tend to your consciousness as well. And that's why I put this position in this particular spread, because its energy isn't something that just, bursts forth and is amazing and wonderful and just happens. You really have to cultivate it through a practice. And I think that this is like where I'm almost getting that, like, prioritizing the practice is going to be important, because you can feel very in this swept up wind of an energy, almost not maybe not whirlwind, but just like this rush of something. And you might be tempted to prioritize logic over the need to really tend to this energy, this higher vibe energy. But I think this is also a reminder that this bridging energy here for you is that you're stepping away from something. So it's almost like this energy of, like, getting the bigger picture of things, like we mentioned here with these stories. So getting the bigger picture on the one hand, but then the other part of this too is that you're maintaining a higher vibe of it, and that's what's kind of carrying you through, like, from one doorway to the next, right? That's the way it's showing up to me, energetically speaking. It's carrying you through, and this is sort of your 5D self and then your 3D self looking at things, and you're able to really place it and understand. And this is like a comprehension from a level of consciousness, which is really lovely. And your protagonist energy is your 7 of Pentacles. So this is really the work that you've put into you. The work that you've put into you is your best friend right now. Not because, that it can be isolating to do those things. I like, in some work can be quite isolating, right? When I was in grad school, I remember sending my advisor an email and saying, like, this is going to sound really weird, but do you ever just feel lonely? Do you ever just feel lonely because the work is so lonely making, right? And right, doing school and grad school kind of is like, to those in it right now, I freaking applaud you so hard, so much, right? Like, you've got this, keep going. If that's what you want to do, keep going. But it was quite isolating at times, because you had to do readings, and then you had to write papers, and then you had to research for your thesis, and then you had to do research, period. So it was very isolating. So it's almost like this, it's like it can be your best friend right now. So it's like a season of leaning into the joys of that sort of the work that you've put in, but remembering not to isolate yourself either, right? And this is the 7 of Wands here, is like advocating for yourself and your needs, right? So this is really, I get the impression that this energy is about you knowing when to curl up into yourself, and when to kind of hold the doors open for yourself, when to hold it all open for yourself, so that the light that's shining inside of you can shine out, can come out, right? This is what that energy really is about for me. I feel like there's this almost like this hard space. I don't want to say activation, but just this expansion. It's really beautiful that I'm seeing in the energy here. So that's fantastic. And the challenge today, unsurprisingly, is this heartbreak. It's almost like there's a door that you slam shut, but it's almost like, have you ever tried to, I shouldn't laugh, but have you ever seen someone who's upset and they try to slam a hydraulic door shut? It just doesn't work. And I don't laugh because I'm not laughing at them. It's not that. It's just like, I think about the times where I've been upset at something and I've tried to do something that is so futile to ridding and to ridding myself of the feeling and to really solve the problem, right? So it's almost like there was a way that you slam the door shut on something, but it was almost like slamming a hydraulic door shut is what I'm hearing. And this is, I think, an energy of letting yourself process the emotion, number one, because there's emotions that are still coming through. So just let that flow, right? Like, I don't really like crying in front of people, but if there's stuff that is weighing on me, I will absolutely do it. Like, there's nothing to be ashamed of in it. And tears are just, it's such a vulnerable making thing. And we're all human at the end of the day, right? So we all have these things in common. And there was a sign that I saw when I went to my granny's house, one of the high schools, on the way to the beach. it said, we don't come together. It's not our similarities that are our strengths. It's the places that we're different, right? But then there's also this aspect of the similarities are the things that remind you that we're all human too, right? And our differences are the ways that we process things, sure. But what I love about this card and the energy coming from it is it's almost like connecting to something bigger. Like there's a way that this pain, like I feel like there was some kind of pain or, because it's a minor arcana card, I think about it in terms of temporary pain. Like it's a setback. Maybe it didn't feel the greatest, but I get the impression that it's like, it wasn't for nothing. It wasn't for nothing. And you're just kind of taking your time, but just as a reminder, because this is your challenge card, remember not to close doors altogether where there need to be open fields, right? And then this Four of Pentacles is what you go into as the overcoming of the day or this week, the energies in general. And it's like you being so in your worth and full of that. Like again, this super sensuality, right? We have the Empress, the Four of Pentacles in this particular iteration is just this beautiful sensuality that you're holding close to yourself, because it's almost like this expression of you. Maybe it's like that's what this consciousness energy is like you rushing towards, and because it's a pentacle energy, that would not surprise me, you being able to access this higher aspect of sensuality. Yeah. And the sun is here too, which is brilliant energy altogether. Like you win. Good job. Reading's over. No, but it's just, there's a light shining. It's almost like there was a light that you were looking for outside of you. And then you're realizing that the light was coming from within you the whole time. But the pain that you went through to get there had a real deep purpose. It had a very deep purpose and meaning. And it's because now you're here, and it didn't have to happen that particular way. There wasn't that particular setback or anything along those lines that you didn't need that, but you used that in this higher vibe way to get there. And I get this, that's like the swan card, like going from that, like, I know Canadian geese are called goslings. I think that's the same thing for a swan, but going from this like fuzzy little thing into this beautiful animal, right? So, and I think that this is, again, heart space, heart center, the she loves, like this is all really just a beautifully embodied energy. This is fantastic. I'm smiling on your behalf. It's so good. And then the Knight of Wands here, I think, is you going from this sort of detached place with the Knight of Swords. Like that's almost like an energy where you're able to see things, you're assessing things. This is like a taking in of information. And then this Knight of Wands is really you running with that. That's you running with that. And being unafraid to take on new challenges. This is you also like taking risks. Yeah, but like they're calculated risks, right? This is possibly also travel. And I think this is like a little bit of where passion meets drive. It feels like I'm getting this vibe of like anything is possible, right? Anything is possible right now. That's the energy that I'm reading from that. So we're going to dive in and see what else the cards say in clarification. So I'm going to put those to the side there. Perfect. Dun, 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 dun. Gotta get my deck. Sorry, I shook the camera there. Spirit, what messages do you have for my daily creatives, please? Daily creatives for May 25th, please and thank you. Tower, Judgment, the Chariot, the Hermit. Okay, so all major arcana, no big deal. Nothing to see here. It's almost like there was a way that your wisdom kind of crept up on you slowly and then all at once. Like the lessons that you're learning. So we have, let me see here. Oh my gosh. We have the Tower, Judgment, the Chariot, and the Hermit. So this is Pluto energy, Pluto and Mars. We also have Pluto energy and Cancerian energy in Virgo. So that's 6th house, 4th house. And these could be kind of together, I guess, Aries and Scorpio. So 8th house and 1st house potentially. And then we also have Leo in the 5th house. So these are all major arcana cards. So I feel like what you're really needing to understand, and this like bridge that you're building, there's like realizations about your own power I'm getting, and your own wisdom, right? And your own wisdom and what you've carried within you. And that's where I feel like this seed of the heart, it's like you've planted these before. They were planted before. I'm also, whoa, I just had chills when I thought of this, but this could also be counterpart energy coming in. Like there's like a meeting of the both of you somehow. Like maybe, whoa, that was unexpected, but it's like it sort of like a coming together. So you could be air, water, and fire. I'm not sure, but that was something that just kind of came up there. But it's like you're connecting to this really. It's like you're maybe back in your body. I'm not sure. Like when I transitioned, I totally know what that feels like because I was like, oh my gosh, this is what it feels like to just be, like to just be. It was so amazing. I loved it. Now I'm like, all like it just sensuality all day, my friends, all day. And it's hard to really to stay connected to things like, because one of my love languages that's pretty huge is touch, and it's really about connecting to my body and in my body, and it just took on such a different meaning. And it's almost like it could be a shift like that. Like sometimes, like we live in a culture that prioritizes diets and like body beautiful in terms of like this really weird standard of it that's not unobtainable, but it doesn't make room for real life and like stretch marks and a little bit of weight here, or the way weight sits on hips or thighs, and like we just berate ourselves and like whittle ourselves down until we're just like blown in the wind and it could just like topple over. And I feel like I don't know, like that could be something that you're working through as well. If not, I mean, if I'm not speaking to other trans folks, like there's something about you were connecting to this deeper part of yourself that's really helped you to stand firm within your maybe boundaries. I'm hearing so boundaries, but also in terms of what you want, and this sort of fearless way of going after it because it's connected to a deeper knowing within you. Hermit and the Chariot and the Judgment card, right? And I think the Tower, because it's between such like auspicious energies of the Sun and Judgment, Chariot, and the Hermit, I think it's really about understanding more deeply what makes you happy. Because we have like, oh, I want the conditions to look like this. I want life to be like this. But wisdom, connecting to the hermit within you, is about the everyday ways that happiness is not something that you reach for outside of you, but that you cultivate within you. The Magician, the Five of Pentacles, the Moon, and the Three of Cups. More major arcana. Yeah, I feel like there might have been something that you found out about. That really set you back a little bit, or kind of brought you into this kind of defeated energy, like seeing yourself in kind of like crummy eyes, or like this could also just be the lessons of loss that you didn't necessarily see coming, right? I've had experiences like that, 2 on the time. I've had experiences like that for sure, where it's like I hadn't seen something coming and it kind of took me aback. And I think this is like an old story. And I think that you need to understand that you're manifesting away from that experience, right? But this is just calling to your attention that this is also a time that you're in like a rich manifesting period. You're planting seeds, right? Seeds of the heart fire. Right? You're manifesting. So keeping in mind that look for the silver linings. I'm getting this less than a celebration card. Look for the silver linings, right? The silver linings are in the people around you. The silver linings are in the ways that things that, could have really brought you down became something so much more and more profound for others to learn from as well, right? So I think that's also connecting to this worth part, right? Like I get that there's like a 3D component that I lay out here, but this is also a 5D component up here. And I feel like in the 5D, there's this beautiful healing that's taken place, and it's a recognition of the Empress that's inside of you. Like you are the Empress in this spread. So I feel like that's really this energy that you're embodying right now. And I feel like in the physical, you're catching up to that, but it's just a reminder, like don't slip into these illusions about yourself, right? That's the Devil and the Six of Pentacles up here, but then the Moon and the Five of Pentacles down here is like, look for the silver linings of things. And remember that you're coming together with these different parts of your life that are kind of new, maybe. Given the Tower energy here in the Sun, like I'm inclined to believe more new, but this is like, there's an aspect, because with the tower, something falls, but then something comes in to replace it, right? So this is the new. Um, and this, I feel like it's like this creativity. Like this is also understanding what you bring to the table, right? Understanding what you bring to the table, which, I mean, what you bring to the table, a magician, right? So I feel like you're very powerful right now. That's for sure. So we have the Devil, the Knight of Swords, and the Muse of Pentacles. Spirit, what messages do you have for my daily creatives? Ace of Wands, Death, Five of Pentacles, and the Knight of Swords again. So we got some repeating energy. This Knight of Swords energy could be, and it's repeating in the same clarifying row as well, I should say. Oh, this shine. I kind of want to leave the window open though, so I'll just do this so you can see it. But so we have the Ace of Wands and the Death card, and then the Five of Cups and the Knight of Swords. I think this is a call to check your expectations, not just of yourself, but of, what are the lessons that loss has really, how have the lessons of loss transformed within you, right? Ace of Wands, Death, Five of Cups, Knight of Swords. What were the lessons of loss that really transformed you? And this Knight of Swords could be someone meeting you in that energy, but this is also, an overview kind of take. And I think that this could also be that there's something new that will be transformative. I'm going to try and hold these all up together without making the table creak too much. But there could be something that is new that's headed your way, very, very passionate, and it's going to change a lot of things for you. It's going to change a lot of things for you. And you're going to, you might be tempted to be like, look at everything that just spilled. But there's like two cups behind you that are still intact, right? Silver linings. And sometimes the silver lining is the thing that's happening. But this, I think the Knight of Swords is here very gently. I'm going to say this is just to get over ourselves, right? Because sometimes when good things happen, we can fall into this. Instead of seeing the transformation that's happened, we can say like, and I'm getting an energy of this is where like big, in terms of life changes, like big life changes, sometimes this is like leaving old patterns behind, right? For example, I know that my sushi, like I love sushi, but is it really that good? Like thinking about how many parasites live in salmon, right? So it's like I'm trying to reduce it to like once or twice a year now, and it's very difficult. It's very difficult, but so it's like I could be in a Five of Cups energy about it, but I could also understand too that like how am I prioritizing my own health? How am I prioritizing my body's needs? And the fact that a lot of fish have so much like mercury and stuff in it, right? So it's like, how am I balancing this? Could be a Five of Cups about it, but I could also just align with where I really want to go and be in that energy instead, right? Knight of Swords. Six of Pentacles on the Six of Pentacles and the Seven of Pentacles. Oh, good. I feel like there's a real alignment with balance here for you. There's a way that you're not just aligning to balance a little bit, like a lot. You're like fully in that energy. And this is also equal give and take. Like this is gifts that you're getting from spirit. But then I think that this is like the Six of Pentacles here in this kind of 5D sense. And then the 3D sense here is like, it's really allowing you to pour forth and give to others because you're finally receiving things in 5D. You're letting spiritual gifts come to you, right? On that particular plane. So then you can give back to others. And there's a balance here, right? There's a balance here. Yeah. And I think this is like a worthy investment. Like this is definitely worth your time and energy to do this. And I think that you recognize this in part. Six of Cups, Eight of Wands, Temperance. So that's some Sagittarian energy. I don't know why I said it like that. Sagittarius. But we have the Six of Pentacles and the Six of Cups and the Eight of Wands. I feel like these are kind of, it could be a person from the past coming in this week. We are still in a Mercury retrograde, so the sky is the limit, my friends. Oh, I don't know if you heard the train. It's coming in. It's coming through town. But the Six of Cups here tells me that there could be some things from the past happening related to this kind of give and take. Like this is lessons from the past, but it could also be someone coming in maybe to give a little bit to you. I'm not sure. This could also represent travel. The Eight of Wands does indeed represent travel. This also represents like quick success. Maybe also a little bit of hesitation, like needing to hesitate if it's more in, well, I'm not get it's how do I word this? It's sort of like it's not like a look before you leap energy, because I feel like there's something about you that's kind of balance. Again, this is like balance, 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 and more balance. So it's almost like maybe the review of the past, the way that you're seeing the past is allowing you to move forward very quickly, because the perspective that you're taking is one that is in service to your highest vision, right? You're aligning with this 5D spiritual self. You're aligning with those lessons. And in the 3D, it's almost like life is just kind of presenting you with the rewards of that, right? The rewards of that energy. This is also 3 6s, which is 6 is the Lover's card in the major arcana. So this could be, I think this is kind of like an inward facing choice that you've had to make, right? This isn't the not sexy choice that we have to make every day. Like, am I going to let these things accumulated over time? Because it is an accumulation of energy that gets built up inside you, right? So it is something you have to do every day. You have to really look at yourself, your choices, and the things that you're doing every day, and how over time it will accumulate and build, right? So, and that can be, great. You can use that to your benefit. We're not just talking about the sort of debts that we create energetically within our bodies. This is about the surplus that we can create too, the energy that we can give ourselves and others as a result of living in that space. The star, speaking of healing and hope, it's also Aquarian energy. Yeah, 11th house. But I feel like this is like you shining that healing light. Like, remember how I said that we were like with this, it's almost like you're pulling back, and like this is like the prioritization of things, right? Like the seeing what you need to see and advocating for yourself more. It's almost like this healing is really shining through, right? It's really shining through. Go you. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh, 10 of Pentacles. I mean, as far as long-term investments go you, right? This is, I think, to me, this is saying that this is not just a recognition of like being on the right path, but I feel like this is, okay, that's beautiful. Oh, my ears ringing. My ears ringing, and I just heard the story of things to come. So, Aquarian energy and the 10 of Pentacles is really like the ultimate investment, but also it is also the being invested in equally, right? That's also the marriage card. So that, I mean, it could be in your future, be that married to projects or, a person or people, my poly folks, I see you. This is your space too. Okay, so Spirit, what messages do you have? Oh, that pesky little 3 of Swords. King of Pentacles. Oh, I see. So see, we're seeing a lot of, there's like some worry cards here happening. I'm going to keep them there, but just so that you see what I see, that made me go, oh, I see. Did you get all that? So this 3 of Swords is, I think there's a hesitation. That's where the hesitation was coming in. On this, I was picking up on it a little bit. Like, it's not like look before you leap, but I feel like there's something that you're hesitant about giving your pentacle to. And this could be, it could be, crappy experiences that you've had at workplaces, or, not so savory experiences in friendships, or heartbreak, right? Whatever that is to you, don't let that stop you from putting your pentacle where it's most important, right? To you. And equally so, don't be afraid of letting life hit you in the pentacle, which sounds a bit vulgar, but that's fine. Let it, we're going to leave that. I don't even know, but like just meaning that, like, don't be afraid to be moved so deeply that you're like, oh, that really does mean something really big to me. Right. Wow. And to just sit in that energy, but then do something with it, right? To show others, to put that energy in motion, because there's a chunk of Wands energy here, but there's also a lot of major arcana. So this could be like, it's kind of like a lesson of receiving and receptivity. Like, it really is. I'm hearing stones skipping across water, and then like that, like plunk into the water. So it's almost like there's, maybe it was like you were doing things to busy your time, or you weren't, it's not coming through fully. when I was a kid and we would go camping or we would go to cottages or whatever, that would be like the first thing that I would do is like see how far I could throw one. And then it would be skipping it across the water. And, I mean, ultimately, it's not great for fish if you throw like a boulder because it kind of disrupts the ecosystem and stuff. But just like the skipping stones, there's something about that. It's almost like make a wish and like count how many times the stone skips, and that's how many wishes to make on something. I'm not sure where this is coming from, but maybe it resonates for somebody. So I'm going to pull from the Notes from the Universe on Love and Connection deck by Mike Dooley to start to close out this reading for you, my darling daily creatives. And it's also, don't be afraid to start new. Don't be afraid to start new or to start fresh. Like you're starting from experience, not from scratch, right? That's a message that I've been getting. You might not know now, but you will. So if there's a question that you have, it's maybe an answer just to say, you may not understand. It's like a comprehension is the energy that I'm getting. Like there's a comprehension. You might not comprehend right now, but you will. Dwell on what you love. Stay in your high vibe. Yes, stay in your Leo. Stay in your Leo. I think that's just a good rule of, just a good rule to abide by. I'm trying to eradicate rule of thumb because it's a really problematic phrase that just basically talks about like the rule of thumb was, you know what, I'm going to let you look it up. It's not great towards women. So I'm trying to get it out of my vocabulary. So I almost said it, but I wanted to say it just so that I could let folks know what it might mean. Anyways, okay, that was quick. I didn't even have a chance. Spirit's like, okay, come on. Okay. To truly flourish is to release all the tension that holds me back from letting love pour through me. And what better thing to think about? I'm hearing the prayer of St. Francis. The prayer of St. Francis. I carry that in my wallet, actually. I do. You know what? I'm going to read it to you. I'm going to grab it. I know it's extra, but I'm going to go grab it. Hang on. Okay. Let me pull this out here. There's just something, it might be something in it for someone. The little card. Lord, make me an instrument of your peace, of thy peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. And where there is darkness, light. And where there is sadness, joy. Grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. For it is in giving that we receive, it is in pardoning that we are pardoned, and it is in dying that we are born to eternal life. Maybe that's like a dying every day thing. Maybe that's what that death card is too. And this Virgo 6th house, like the things we do every day, the daily habits that we have, right? Could be related to health too, but yeah, that just came to mind. And then, so when I respect my money respects me. And this applies to money, but also investments, your pentacle, right? Like let life hit you in the pentacle. How are you showing respect for your investments of not just money, but like energy, love, time, right? The you in your pentacle, right? How are you showing respect and honoring that? How are you showing respect for and honoring that? So, I let go and allow the universe to do her thing. Yes, you do. Yeah, just surrender. Sometimes all you have to say, like, the surrender can seem like such a huge concept. Like, how do we surrender, really? But I think sometimes it just comes down to saying, I don't know what this is for. I don't know what this means. And I'm really excited to be surprised and delighted by life as I learn more about that. Why am I concerned or worried right now? Because I have so much invested in this particular thing and the meaning that I hope is true for me. So how can I soothe myself and the anxiety that I feel about the ways that I've defined this before I've let it unfold, right? It's about getting into that place where you can let the energy flow a lot more freely. So my daily creatives, that is your reading. I hope this resonated. If it did, please like and subscribe. I would love to have you on the channel, and I greatly appreciate the new folks on the channel and people stopping by. So that means a lot to me. So thank you so much for that. And if this is where we part, though, I hope that wherever this finds you on the time-space continuum, morning, afternoon, or night, it finds you very well. Take care, my lovelies. Have a wonderful day.